Oh boy, is it okay to ever pop your pimples? I will admit, sometimes I do, but this is the only time where it can be helpful. Hi, I'm Hyram. I'm here with 17, and this is 17 Questions Skincare Edition. But before we start, you guys should know my brand, Selfless by Hyram, is now available at Target, both in-store and online, so go check it out. I first fell in love with skincare when my skin was going through it, because I grew up on a cattle ranch in the middle of Arizona. Skincare was just not a concept whatsoever. By the time I was in high school, I had deep set wrinkles all over my face. So I started using skincare and noticed incredibly transformative results. Once I started learning about the science and ingredients, it was just a black hole of obsession to where I am now. The first product I ever used that made me feel like really confident in my own skin was the Bare Minerals Tinted Moisturizer. And when I put it on and looked in the mirror, it was the first time in my entire life that I felt beautiful. It was a completely transformative feeling and just really uplifting moment. And that's when I really realized, wait a second, this is more than just a product in a bottle. This is more than just something you apply to your face. This actually made me feel more confident in myself. And this is something I'm really interested in. Ooh. Honestly, it has always been DIY skincare. I think DIY skincare can be so damaging to the face and just completely impractical, to be honest, because you're gonna have to go out and buy $25 worth of fresh fruits and vegetables and oils to use for a product that's not gonna last longer than even a day and is probably going to make your skin freak out, have breakouts, just really bad sensitized reactions. And I have seen so many people online who tried a DIY skincare hack and years later are still dealing with the consequences of just having really sensitized, irritated skin. So my line, Selfless by Hyram, was inspired by my passion not only for really good, effective skincare formulas, but I also wanted my brand to make an impact that went further beyond skincare, something that could make a lasting change in the world. And I thought to myself, what if I were to combine social change and skincare together? So I made my products, which each has a direct and measurable social impact that helps protect rainforests from deforestation around the world, or provide people with clean drinking water all around the world as well. And my personal favorite product from the brand is the Retinol and Rainbow Algae Repair Serum. It is such a good retinol for not only helping with breakouts and acne on the face, but also to help minimize any premature aging you might experience. But the best part is, if you're someone who's new to retinol and you haven't really experienced it before, it's an amazing formula to gently introduce your skin to it. Seeing my brand in Target stores was such a surreal moment where I did get a little bit emotional, and I really hope that by being at Target, more people can take care of their skin and make global impact through the change that our products generate. The main misconception I see when it comes to skincare is that you have to spend a lot of money in order to get good skin. And that's why I think learning about ingredients and finding those ingredients that you know will work best in the skincare products you're trying will really help you be able to find the best products possible at any price point. Ingredients are really complicated and everyone has its good and its bad side, but the one I would recommend avoiding is walnut shell, because it can be so abrasive on the skin, really overly sensitize your moisture barrier, and even cause a lot of long-term damage. And for what? Just to exfoliate your skin? There's so many good ingredients out there that do a good job of gently exfoliating your face without all the negative side effects that can come from an ingredient like walnut shell. Oh, I love so many ingredients, but the best ingredients of all time, in my opinion, is niacinamide. It controls oiliness to make sure you're not overproducing any sebum in your skin, but it also strengthens the moisture barrier so that it can resolve sensitivity and irritation and make your skin a lot stronger. It reduces redness and pigmentation you might be experiencing in your skin. It works alongside any other ingredient and actually enhances the effectiveness of a lot of other ingredients. I love the Naturium Niacinamide Gel Cleanser, awesome one that I frequently use when I'm traveling. I also love the First Aid Beauty Niacinamide Dark Spot Serum. It's a great one to make sure that your skin stays balanced throughout the day, but still has a good amount of plumpness and hydration in it as well. There's so many products out there, but niacinamide is one of those ingredients you always want to look for. If you are brand new to skincare, here's the 3 products that I would recommend. First, you want to have a good cleanser because your skin goes through a lot every day and there's a lot of dirt and pollution and just things that build up in your pores that you got to get out of there. Second, find a good moisturizer that'll be able to make sure your skin stays hydrated but doesn't feel too greasy or heavy on the skin. That'll just make sure your moisture barrier is protected throughout the day and night. And then finally, the most important one, and even if you're brand new to skincare and you're like, Hyram, I just want one, sunscreen is the most important step in the skincare routine. Find a good sunscreen you can use every day because the majority of damage in the skin comes from the sun. I'd say first, Crave Beauty by Leah Yu. Some of the best skincare brands I found out there. She's a really well-known content creator and brand founder within the cosmetic space. And for body care, I actually really like Fenty Skin by Rihanna. She has really some fragrance-free options that I absolutely love too, but her hand cream or her body cream, oh, so good for the skin. So SOS, you have a breakout, you need to get rid of it as fast as possible. Here's what I recommend. First, make sure you use a good cleanser on the area to get out any dirt that might be building up. Second, use a salicylic acid product. I would recommend the Selfless by Hyram Salicylic Acid Serum because it absorbs into the skin really quickly and is able to get any extra dirt or anything that might be contributing to that breakout out of the skin. Next, use a good moisturizer to make sure that the area is just well treated. And then finally, use a pimple patch on top of the breakout to make sure that any more dirt or pollution stays out of the breakout area, and just keep repeating that cycle every day. That's the best way to get rid of a breakout. Oh boy, is it okay to ever pop your pimples? I will admit, sometimes I do, but this is the only time where it can be helpful. If you are noticing that your pimple has a huge white head on it and it's kind of painful and you can see that it is just ready to burst, I recommend sanitizing your hands, getting a sanitized pair of tweezers, very gently just taking the top off and then squeezing out whatever may be in the pimple, and then don't touch it again. My best recommendation, avoid it as much as you possibly can. I do recommend different products for a morning and nighttime routine because nighttime is when you really get to focus on repairing your skin from the damage it might have experienced throughout the day. And the daytime routine can really just be focused on preventing as much damage as you possibly can. So during the day, I recommend lightweight products that work on controlling oiliness, that protect against free radical damage, that protect against sun exposure, like a sunscreen. And then at nighttime is when you can use your exfoliants, when you can use like your retinols, your retinoids, any of those really cool treatment products that will help to get rid of that damage you've experienced. And then of course, I always want to go to bed looking like a glazed donut, super moisturized, just thick grease all over my face. Nighttime is when you're really able to do that. My craziest skin emergency was probably when I dyed my own hair. I dyed it purple, and I thought for some reason that the dye would only dye my hair and not my skin, so it was all over my forehead, and I proceeded to make the absolute worst decision you could possibly do, and I never recommend this. I used nail polish remover on my skin. I don't know what happened. I fully blacked out, and I've repented for that sin. It worked to remove the hair dye, and my skin understandably freaked out. I had terrible breakouts. It was awful. I think skincare tools are great. It's such a nice experience, not only for your skin, but also kind of for the mental health. It's a very meditative, calming moment to use a gua sha or a face roller. That being said, there's not a lot of data to show that these types of tools are actually going to reverse damage in the skin or be super transformative. So my recommendation is go ahead and use them, have fun with it, but don't feel pressured to spend a lot of money on these products. Yes, you should always wear sunscreen. I know a lot of people ask me that because say you live in an environment where it's pretty cloudy all the time, there's not much sun exposure, but the thing is, sunscreen will help to not only protect your skin from any window light that might be coming in and creating that skin damage, but it's also great at protecting against free radical damage like pollution or dirt in the air. My top two sunscreens I would recommend is first the Bliss Blockstar SPF 30. It's a good drugstore formula you can find at Target, and it has this nice tint to it that offset any white cast, but it does an amazing job of mattifying the skin so you don't look too greasy or oily. I also love the Hero Cosmetics Force Shield SPF 30 sunscreen. It's such a good formula. It doesn't have a tint, but it has a little bit of green in it to offset any redness you might experience from irritation or sensitivity in your skin. People tend to forget to put sunscreen other places besides their face, so I always recommend applying it to the tops of your ears, the back of your neck. I also recommend putting it on your hands too, and if you wear a shirt, putting it on your arms. I know it may seem like a lot and pretty excessive to apply it all over, but you just want to make sure your skin is protected, and a lot of people overlook those areas. You should be exfoliating your skin multiple times a week, but it does come down to the strength of exfoliant that you're using. If you're using something like a scrub or a really powerful exfoliant, no more than once per week. If you're using a very gentle formula, I'd say 3 times a week is like the perfect amount, but you shouldn't be exfoliating your skin every day. Your skin needs that healing time to make sure it's producing enough skin cells, to make sure you're not over exfoliating your skin and potentially experiencing that sensitivity and irritation that can come with it. Honestly, I should say my own products, but realistically, I would have a sunscreen. The Bliss Blockstar SPF 30 sunscreen I would use because if I'm on a desert island, the sun is strong, okay? I'm gonna be getting a lot of sunburns and I want to avoid that as much as I possibly can. Ugh, that's a tough one. Okay, 17, those are all of my questions. I hope I answered any skincare questions you might have had, and I will see you all soon.